Denox Tech Reviews number 17. Denox reviews Bullet Life PC, requested by SAIJEE Higuchi, the creator of this game.
Hello YouTube, this is DenoxSeries speaking once again, and today I'm finally going to do another full quality game review. Last time I remember was Sakura Wars, been a while since then, but now I'm gonna review a free indie game called Bullet Life. Sounds like bullet hell for a moment, to be honest. It is made by an independent company called Soy Sauce, directed by SAIJEE Higuchi. In fact, believe it or not, the creator of this game requested me to do this review, which is why I'm here right now. Possibly the first person to review in English, just like Love Plus back in 2010. Bullet Life is a 3D shooter that combines elements of Star Fox 64 and the Touhou games into a 3D environment, when many of the bullets that you'll see on screen looks literally just like the Touhou bullets, which comes firing at you in exaggerating quantities. There is no actual story for the Bullet Life game. SAIJEE plans to make it into a comment later on his DeviantArt account. But the CG cutscene can be found on YouTube in the link below. The reason this wasn't in the game is because the creator got complaint from many people that the CG itself took more file space than the whole game itself. Crazy. This game is all centered on a girl named Zoe Brooks, who is currently 23 years old in the game. She controls the hover cannon that is able to shoot fires at her enemy that dares to get her away. She works for an angle that develops weapons for her to use for the job. She often acts with very little thinking. In other words, she's a masochist. When you go to the menu, there are several options to choose from. But before explaining more on that, let's begin the review with the main game. There are 5 levels in total. 4 of them can be accessed in any difficult setting, but the 5th level is the extra stage that will only be available in the hardest difficulty, and in the new end of each level, you will encounter a boss battle just like Touhou. Your goal is to avoid bullets and shoot any enemies down that comes in your way. Some of the basic controls you should know to get around this game is obviously you using the directional pad to move around the stage. You press the X button for the primary weapon, it shoots straight forward dealing decent damage, and the Z button is for a secondary weapon. It locks on multiple enemy targets while charging up for the shot, and you release it to unload. You can also combine Z and X buttons to activate the hover cannons to use both kind of cannons at the same time. And just like Touhou, but in a 3D environment, you can also activate a bomb that blows away all bullets currently on screen by pressing the C button when the bomb bar on the very mid top part of the screen is full. Not only that, but when all the bullets are destroyed, you can earn points for each of them. Remember that it can only be activated when the bomb icon is flashing red on the top right side of the screen. You can also zoom in or out the position of the in-game camera. There are 4 different camera positions you can have it in when you're playing this game. You can choose the position that's best for you. Some prefers looking at the character far away, or some very close. Now I shall explain all the on-screen info you will see whenever you're playing this game. On the top left section you will see an SP and then a big number right next to it on its right. That's your shield points, and the number indicates how much hits you can take before you lose a life. Now, do you see the points, power, and lives indicator on the bottom left above the 2 bars? Points is the points counter, of course, and you could gain it by collecting blue squared items as you progress through the game. Enough points can earn you an extra life. Power points are gained by collecting the red square items, the power of your cannons, but be careful, because taking a hit from bullets will make you lose 1 power point and several more if you lose a life. And the lives indicate how many lives you have remaining. The yellow squared items helps recover the extension ammo bar, so you can be able to shoot more from your cannons much more sooner after you have ran out of them. Because if the ammo bar is empty, then you are unable to shoot normally and have to wait a few seconds to refill, so you may shoot again. Now there's also a lock bar above the ammo bar, which fills up in yellow when you hold the Z button. Yeah, the obvious letter on the bottom right. It tells you to hold it, so do it! And of course, how about we explain a little bit more on the enemies in the game and the bullets that they shoot you. Pretty much the enemies most of the time will keep its distance from you to shoot bullets in large quantities. In a 3D environment game like this, you may wonder how you can tell if the bullets are close to you or far. Well, I just used the logic like I did in Star Fox 64. If the bullets are very small, then that means they're far from your reach currently. The bigger bullets are closer to you, and if a game was like this on the 3DS, it'll be much more easier to tell from which distance each of the bullets are, cause for the people that hasn't played Star Fox 64 or something similar, they may get confused with the bullets in the Z actions position on their first try. And last of all is you, Zoe, the character you play as that looks transparent. Helps to look through bullets right in front of her, and the hover cannon next to her looks like if she's using psychic powers to control them. With her hover cannon, for each 33 power points you have, you can have another hover cannon, thus powering up your fire secondary powers. Now we explain on other game modes as well that it includes. That is versus mode. This will allow you to play with another player locally who also has a USB joypad controller. Each player chooses the weapons they are going to use in combat, and they go on a battlefield facing each other. Each time you lose 6,000 health bar, you will have a pair of proton cannons equipped which makes your attacks more powerful. Whoever loses 6,000 health bar with 6 proton cannons equipped first loses. The controls are also slightly different in this mode compared to the main game mode because unlike that, you have the option to move forward or back with L2 and R2 buttons. And you don't move forward without control unlike the main gameplay. There's also an IP play mode that is supposed to be used for people with their own separate computers for LAN play, up to 2 players only, but due to the fact the creator did not know much networking at the time, this mode does have its issues, but probably in a future update it will improve in this mode once he learns networking. The music in this game are quite creative, and it has that techno feeling and beat that really puts a real good setting for this game. Some of the music were made by him, while the others were made by his brother. The graphics of this game are quite neat, similar to the PS2 graphics in the 6th generation of gaming, and it runs pretty smoothly on most computers the creators tried it on. My computer sometimes was smooth, but lagged a bit. But for the most part, it ran pretty smooth, and I was able to learn quick on learning the curve of this game with my vast experience on Star Fox 64. To conclude this game, I must say that I'm pretty impressed that this game was made by a couple of high school kids at the time of this game's development. And this game also won SAIJEE a national gold medal with Scholastic. Tony Hawk was apparently one of the judges. Dang. And was in 3rd place in the Game Maker contest. Overall, this game is quite interesting when I played it because it has combined 2 of my favorite shooters of all time, Star Fox and Touhou, which adds a unique combination. Any fan of those 2 games or any arcade shooter fans in general should check this game out. It's quite challenging in the later levels and teaches you how to dodge bullets in a 3D environment. The game's short and can be completed in less than an hour in one run, but it does have a lot of replay value if you do want to play it again for better scores. To me, it can lag sometime, but for the most part, it's quite smooth, and for their first game, they did pretty good. I give Bullet Light for the PC a 7.5 out of 10.